Hello everybody, thank you for coming back. Obviously this is the beginning of a very small channel right now. I'm gonna speak as if there's lots of people listening, because I hope one day a lot of people will see these, and you can help, of course, by sharing them if you think they're important. These videos are not going to come out on any kind of regular basis. They'll come out when I think I have something interesting to say, or something cool to show you, or maybe if I've written a new song. I have no idea. And the other way I can make a video is if you guys ask me questions, which is what has happened today. I had the very first response that this channel ever had, gave me a couple nice questions to answer, so you know who you are. Thank you very much. You were wondering about the Liberals and the fact that they had fallen out of favor in the last year or so, and it wasn't for any big reason. They're coming back into favor slowly. I'll get to that. They didn't fall out of favor for any large reason. The Liberals have been in power for almost 10 years. Another point about the parliamentary system is if you get a good person, you can keep them. You could have, if you had the parliamentary system, you could have kept Obama. Justin Trudeau has been going for 10 years. His dad, Pierre Trudeau, I think had 15, but not all in a row. So the Liberal government has been around a while. Justin Trudeau maybe took his eye off the ball a bit. Maybe he got a little complacent. I don't really know. I'm not a heavily political person. I'm just spewing some facts here. So after a while, if Canada's had a government for 10 years, sometimes we just think it's time for a change. And that's more or less what was happening. Then the shift started. I saw a graph the other day. The shift started in Canada from Liberal, or from Conservative back to Liberal, when your current president was inaugurated. And I saw a graph on YouTube the other day, and it just shows this steady little decline after the inauguration. And then when the tariffs were announced, it started accelerating. I think, remember I mentioned that the New Democratic Party was propping up the Liberals, and probably prevented an election last year. If the NDP had not decided to do that, we would probably have a Conservative government right now. And I'm so glad we don't. So that's been the big shift. It's really your president has sparked the shift in this country. The other thing you wondered about was, do we have the same problem with propaganda in our media? Very good question. The answer is no. We don't have a Fox News, and we all know that Fox News doesn't even pretend to be news. They flat out admit that they are entertainment and opinion. we have 2 or 3 top broadcasting channels in Canada, like you do in the States, but they all broadcast the same thing. They all broadcast the facts. There may be some conspiracy theorists out there going, well, if they all broadcast the same thing, you're just listening to what your government is telling them to tell you. That's not the case. Our media is independent from the government, and they all report the same thing because they're all reporting the facts. It's kind of that simple. So your other question, do we have political cults? And again, the answer is no, because people spewing disinformation on our airwaves right now, well, they get shut down pretty quick, or it just doesn't happen, or they know it's pointless. I don't know what it is. Our political parties have no religious affiliation at all. When I talk to Canadians, just in normal conversation, politics never comes up. Religion never comes up. The lady that asked these questions of me mentioned she was an independent. I get the feeling that in the States there is a large group of Republicans and a large group of Democrats and a smaller group of independents in the middle. Do I get that right? In Canada, and again, I don't know the stats or facts on this. This is the feeling I have just from being a Canadian and being out in public. Very few Canadians identify with a particular party. So if you're 41 and 40% Republican and 40% Democrat and 20% independent, I guess, we're more like 70% independent, I think, would be my guess. Which means the politicians really have to stay on their toes because we're a real fickle bunch. I think most Canadians my age have voted for at least 2 different parties in their lifetime. I've voted for all 3 of the top different parties and a 4th party. When I'm not particularly happy with any of the top parties, I'll throw a vote to the Green Party. I like what the Green Party stands for, but they're just not big enough to be having any influence. I hope that answers your questions. I got some other thoughts on the parliamentary system I could make another video on. Let me know if you'd like me to continue with that. And take care, guys. All right.